All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to crack a classic GCSE math problem that pops up all the time, Venn diagrams. You know, if you can master the logic behind these, you're grabbing some really crucial marks on your exam. So let's get to it.
So this is the one we're looking at today. It's question 4 from Pearson Edexcel paper. It's a two-parter, and it's really designed to check if you understand set notation and probability. But don't worry, we're going to break it down piece by piece. So by the end of this, you'll be able to fly through these kinds of questions. Okay, so the first part of the question is pretty direct. It just asks us to write down the numbers that are in set P prime. The first hurdle here is just to figure out what on earth that little dash, that prime symbol, actually means. So P prime, or sometimes you'll hear it called P dash, it's just a fancy mathematical way of saying not in P. That's it. It means every single number in the entire diagram that is outside of the P circle. Simple as that. All right, let's actually apply that. Looking at our Venn diagram here, the first thing we have to do is spot what's in set P. If you look at the P circle, you can see there are only two numbers inside it, 12 and 18. That's our starting point. Okay, so think about it logically. If P contains 12 and 18, then P prime has to be everything else, right? Imagine you just cover up that entire P circle with your hand. What numbers can you still see? Well, we're left with a couple of groups of numbers. You've got the ones that are inside the Q circle, that's 10, 14, and 15, and you've also got the numbers just floating around outside of both circles, 11, 13, 16, and 17. All of those together, that's what makes up P prime. So for the final answer, you just have to list them all out. The numbers in set P prime are 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And just like that, you've got the first mark in the bag. Awesome, part 1 done. Now for part B, where things get a little more interesting because we're going to bring probability into the mix. Let's take a look at the actual question. Okay, so the question wants the probability that a number picked at random from the universal set, and remember, that just means all the numbers in the whole diagram, is in the set P union Q. So first things first, let's figure out what that P union Q thing is all about. Right, that U-shaped symbol, that stands for union, and the best way to remember it is to think of it as uniting the two sets. It means we need to consider every number that's in circle P, or in circle Q, or even in the bit where they overlap. It's the whole lot combined. So let's hop back to our diagram. If we want to find P union Q, we just need to scoop up every number that's sitting inside either of those two circles. So we've got 12 and 18 from P, and we've got 10, 14, and 15 from Q. Those 5 numbers are our set. So how many numbers is that altogether? Let's count them up. 12, 18, 10, 14, and 15. That's 5 numbers. Now, in the language of probability, these are our favorable outcomes. They're the ones we're hoping to pick. And this brings us right back to the most basic rule of probability. You've probably seen this a million times. It's always the number of outcomes you want divided by the total number of outcomes that are possible. We've already got the top of our fraction. It's 5. Now we just need to find the bottom part. So here's our game plan. Step 1 is already done. We know there are 5 numbers in P union Q. For step 2, all we need to do is count up the total number of numbers in the entire diagram, the whole universal set. So let's count every number inside that rectangle. The ones in the circles, the ones outside, all of them. If you do that, you'll find there are 9 numbers in total. And that number, 9, is our total possible outcomes. And now for the easy part. We just put it all together. The number of outcomes we want is 5. The total number of outcomes is 9. So the probability that a randomly chosen number is in the set P union Q is simply 5 over 9. And that's it. Question complete. So there you have it. That's a full walkthrough of a really typical GCSE Venn diagram question. Let's just do a super quick recap of the key ideas you're going to want to have in your back pocket. Think of this as your essential toolkit. P prime just means not in P. P union Q means P or Q, or both, basically everything in the circles. And for probability, it's always what you want divided by the total number of options. If you can remember those 3 things, you are absolutely set. And to leave you with a little something to think about, based on everything we just did, how would you find the probability of a number being in P and Q? This is something called the intersection of the sets. What part of the diagram do you think that would be? Have a little think about it. Thanks so much for watching.